Okay, welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be covering how to torque the bolts to the cassette and then going over the cradle down there. So I already got the new bolts in there installed, just replaced the old ones here. I'm going to discard these. Now before I go ahead and start torquing things down, the very first thing that I actually want to do for this specific seal back here is I want to slightly grease it up just a tad bit. It's going to provide a better seal, and it's going to make it a lot more easier to install. So what I'm going to end up doing here, I'm going to get a little fancy with this. Where's my brush? I'm going to take my brush. We're going to dab it up real quick. And again, just a little bit, nothing crazy here. Just get it on there. Bop, bop, bop. Cool. Put this off to the side. Just in case I didn't say it, this is a T30. And the torque spec for this one is going to be 14 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my torque wrench here. Actually, I think it was 13. Yeah, 13. Let's go ahead. Don't need that. Cool. $13.2, perfect. Let's go ahead. We'll pull out my instructions. I'm gonna go over it, and then we're gonna tackle the next bolt that needs to get torqued down. All right, just have this on standby. We want to get you lined up as best as we can. Let me see. There we go. Bop, bop. Cool. So we got that there. We're going to bottom this out. You know what? Nice. All right, so based off the old data instructions, the next one that it wants me to torque down here is this 10mm bolt. You want to get that to about 14 foot-pounds. Bam. Cool. So the next step here, following the repair manual, we're going to stick this sprocket back into its position. Bam, bam. And then we're going to get the chain here to the bottom crank. There we go. Bam. Cool. Now that that's in position, we are going to go ahead, put this guy here for now, and then this part of the tensioner or guide should go into position. And then these are 10mm, and they are torqued to 14 foot-pounds each. So let's go ahead. We'll do that right now. Bam, bam. Cool. Okay, so I actually made a mistake grabbing this torque wrench here. It's not 14 foot-pounds, it's actually 80 inch-pounds. And temporarily got distracted from the sound of my family arriving here. So I got to keep this short because I'm actually wanting to spend time with my grandson here. So we'll try to make this super quick. Nonetheless, 80 inch is what we're aiming for. Bam, that was 80 inches there. 80 inches, just in case you don't have a torque wrench that goes to 80 inches. 80 inches, it should be torqued to about 6.5, rounded up 7 foot-pounds. So that's all that this needs. And again, you want to be very precise. It's a Pittsburgh one. It works. I think I got it for like 22 bucks. Investing in Harbor Freight. This one, when it comes to foot-pounds and going into the higher torques, and as you guys saw in my other videos, torquing with angles and in degrees, gotta go industrial. Of course, if you can invest in an industrial tool even for inches, it's worth it. You know, take the what ifs out of the equation and guarantee your work. Okay, following all data procedure, we're gonna install this into its position, but we're not going to torque these bolts down. We'll just bottom it out just for now, temporarily. Get them into position. This is most likely going to be in inches as well. And again, hopefully you guys are watching these videos. Actually, just read the instructions. Yes, you actually can torque these down, and yes, it's the same thing. 80 inches is what you're going to. And actually, this is not 10 millimeters. This is going to be 8. 10, 8. Yep, confirming it. 8 millimeters at 80 inches, equivalent to 6.5, 7 foot-pounds of torque. Bam, bam, cool. All right, so for the next step here, I'm going to bottom out the bolt here. I'm not going to torque it just yet. I'm going to start off from what the all data's calling out, torquing this one here. It's a T55. We're going to torque it down to 15 foot-pounds. I'm going to be using, for the front to hold it down, E18. I'm going to see if I can do it with this little ratchet. If not, I'll bump it up to something a little bit more bigger. But let's go ahead. Let's just make sure we can seat it on there. And I'm probably going to take it to a point before it starts to feel like it's going to rotate. Cool. I want to say right there, I think we're good. And then I'm going to grab this. And we're going to get this guy back here. And we are going to torque it. Again, I got to bottom it out. I had to borrow this from a coworker. I don't know what happened to my smaller T55. Probably on one of the little storage bins that I have in the garage. Probably just sitting on top. Okay, I felt that. Getting ready to. I'm gonna hold you down. Bam, perfect. 15 foot-pounds. And again, industrial tools makes it extremely easier when it can beep, sound off, and even give you a light indicator, and you're not able to, you know, quite hang on to one side and torque and see where you are exactly, this is perfect. So there you have it, 15 foot-pounds for the rear. Usually there's a special tool for it, which I think this is calling out for special tool 303-634. If you're interested in picking up that tool, again, me simply, all I did was just bottom out that E18, held it up here from the front, and tightened it to 15 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna torque another 90. This thing's okay. Freaking took forever, I swear. I think that thing has to probably stay stationary in order to zero itself out, because I notice it only moves on to the next step when it stops moving. But nonetheless, again, I held it down with the E18 and I torqued it down to 15 foot-pounds. Again, these bolts are torqued to yield, so we're going to go ahead. We are going to turn this an additional 90 degrees, which in the last video I had created. Uh, 90 degrees equaled out to about 30 foot-pounds of torque, to about 31. Bam. All right, cool. I'll take it. So again, that's what I got from the degrees when I was torquing the crankshaft connecting rods, and I was torquing the nuts down. Every time I would do 90 foot or 90 degrees, it equaled out to about 30 foot-pounds, 31 foot-pounds of torque. So I'm comfortable with that. I'm pretty sure that special tool is there for a reason, not to over torque this side down, but again, it's roughly going to be the same thing front and back. Alright, so a bit close, but nonetheless, it's going to be... Now I'm grabbing it from the back. Something that you can do, I just thought about it, you can even probably hang on to the 19 millimeter bolt here. Nonetheless, I'm going to grab it from the back. We're going to go 33 foot-pounds on this one. Bam, perfect already there. Like I said, from front to rear, that's where they should be. This one was additional 90 degrees, so just a little bit more than the other side. All right, cool. Almost there though. There we go. Perfect. Which I think, yep, goes up to 72 foot-pounds of torque. If you made it to this point of the video, I gotta say I really appreciate your guys' support. I hope you guys are learning a lot from my trial and errors as I'm doing this engine for the first time, and gaining a lot of experience. Nonetheless, sorry I couldn't get to the cradle and torquing that stuff down. I'll save that for the next video. I got a bunch that I'm going to be putting up, as well as doing some inspection on the cylinder heads and seeing if I can find which valves are bent, which ones need to get replaced, and of course, wash parts, prep up, and then smack everything together.